Hello everyone, Mike Levin, Wednesday, August 23rd at around 9 a.m. or so, and on my way into work, and I thought I'd shoot a quick video. I'm actually most of the way to the office, so this will be a quick one, but I'm taking a distinctly different route into work than I normally do. Zigzagging through the two sides of the square block area, several square block area that constitutes my self-imposed walk to work. Here I am passing the Complete Strategist, and I really enjoy reminding myself of options and opportunities, and just breaking up the standard day-to-day daily grind by changing it up a bit in those little places where you can. Even the very traditional patterns that work for you, keeping you going, keeping you earning a living, raising your kids well, all those things that we have to make the top priorities in life so that we can continue to exist as social creatures and not have to move somewhere and live in isolation, as many people actually, end up doing. I think that's much of the onus of the suburbs, getting out of the urban environment. There's no way everybody gets along with each other. There's just too many people in this world and too many ways of living, and too many of those ways that are just perfectly acceptable to vast swaths of that population and completely unacceptable to other vast swaths. And those veins of society tend to intermix nowhere more than in major urban centers like New York City, the great metropolitan cities. And I guess I am a suburbanite who grew up and enjoyed that sort of isolation, being at one with just your own mind, and I guess what it is, it's protecting yourself from others who are not like you, and I think that's what happens in the suburbs, and which urban life for a good long while is the antidote to. For some people, I certainly have reinforced my already predisposed broad notion of, humanity as my friends. Most people, you want to give the benefit of the doubt, because otherwise society itself would not exist. But on an individual basis, this is right back to that statistics and Isaac Asimov's psychohistory stuff. On a person-by-person basis, the deviation from the statistical norms can be quite dramatic, and it's easy to encounter someone who is just so completely and utterly opposite and antithetical and dissimilar to you with every worldview, with every notion, with every mannerism. And we tend to just call that stuff bad chemistry. Sometimes it has nothing to do with whether you're isolationist in nature or social, highly interactive in nature. Sometimes two types cut from the same cloth can have that sort of antithetical reaction to each other, quite often because opposites attract and similars repel. So put two A-type alpha personalities in the same room together and you're bound to have a conflict. But of course it's never black and white. There is infinite variety, interaction, subtlety, and rules in the game, which are easy to overlook and to thunk down into an excessively filtered life experience. where you go through everything day by day according to the daily grinds, and you forget that you can mix things up simply by mixing things up. And many of the greatest opportunities in life and some of the greatest alterations in life course to something which you are happy with, you know, I guess some of the best positive terms of life experiences merely come from those tiny, tiny little opportunities that draw themselves to your attention because you changed up your daily routine, even if it's just the background scenery while you walk. You notice things, they draw themselves to your attention because your filters that you've developed over many days and weeks and months and years of trying to make yourself not notice stuff, not consciously, your subconscious is doing it. That's how higher level life forms, including humans, exist. We abstract away the little details and let our automatic subsystems handle all that stuff, and we free up all this frontal cortex area for thinking through the new problems, the things that are different and unusual. And fewer and fewer things enter that different and unusual space as you get older, because you get better at creating that filter. So all your life's experiences collectively accumulate together, start to filter your actual senses, what you can see, what you can smell, what you can taste. And by merely changing your walk, you see more. And new potential paths are opened up for you in life. I guess people who are addicted to the endorphins and dopamines and whatever it is of running, and they take different routes all the time and notice things and like stop to take pictures, stop to Instagram the flowers. I guess that should be the new expression now, because even that is social. You can see where that's coming from. The 2 and 3 different positive feedback cycles that sort of reinforce each other and motivate you along these vectors. And as long as you think about it and make deliberate decisions as you go, it is the greatest exercising of what it is to be a thinking human, because that is probably one of the closest things to true random and unpredictability that exists in this universe, right? Are we in a deterministic or a free will universe? Well, the answer to that is yes. We're the frothy little edge, human scale exception where free will, boop, and it might still continue to remain that froth on the surface of planets or whatever we are, or it could start to fill and occupy the vast expanse that is everything within our domain. What's our domain? Well, we've certainly proven it's the far reaches of the solar system with how we send out satellites, but those are like, we're in batch processing mode. Soon we'll switch to real time, where communications will be as fast as we can get it between remote locations in space, and after that, predictive. And that's when, whatever those things are, Michio Kaku talks about the different levels of society, class 5, a galactic civilization or whatever. So anyway, it always leads to sci-fi, doesn't it? I should talk about some of the particular books I read. This is not coming out of just nowhere. I'm currently reading We'll Save the Galaxy for Food, just for, shits and giggles, some mental popcorn candy of the type that, I also usually try to avoid, like the zombie apocalypse book that I read before that, but being a subscriber to Audible with these commutes, it's hard to resist. Cleanses the palate each day when I go into work. So here I go. Thanks for joining me. Hope to talk to you again soon. And don't forget to subscribe.